Hello again and welcome back to another Phony Psychologist video. This time our psychologist or psychotherapist, which is a supposed career, whatever, this time she's reading some, apparently Meghan had a diary. Do you know what, guy? I don't care. Okay, all I want to do is point out how this woman is just so hateful. That's it, really, in a nutshell.
So we're now into November. Yikes. So now the whole world knows. Oh no, shock, horror. I just don't know what to do. I just didn't expect that. Harry and I are bananas about each other, and so if you remember, that was when she famously put up on her Instagram those two bananas together. Weird obsession with bananas. The royals say never complain, never explain. So she knows that. So she already knows that. But there's nothing that says never post cute internet pics that could be read as a romantic message for your prince is there. So that's what I do. And I post a naughty little message for my guy on Instagram telling him to sleep tight. Yes, that's right. I've spooned with Prince Harry, just like these bananas are doing. After all, he's so appealing. Oh my God, honestly.
I tell you what, I bet this woman is an absolute hoot at parties. Absolute scream. Belle of the ball.
Let me go to November the 10th. Success. Harry put out the sweetest statement confirming that we are totally an item and defending me from all the mean things that some people are saying. He's my knight in shining armour, except he's better than knight because he's a prince. Decided to cook him a special romantic meal at Kensington Palace to show my appreciation, an organic vegan feast using my special favourite recipe for roasted cauliflower with chickpeas and hot curry powder. He's going to love it. So here she openly admits that she's vegan.
And what's wrong with that? I mean, I'm not vegan. I like my meat and 2 veg. But, I mean, what's wrong with being vegan?
And yet, interestingly, I believe one of the first things they cooked or they talked about cooking was chicken. So, you know, you literally can see the cogs whirring with her.
Where?
She wanted this out.
What?
It's now out.
Okay.
And that's when we saw her with that bag where she was with the bag saying...
Talking of bags, did you know that I also design bags? Well, I design art that goes on bags in my store. Did you know that? I've got 2 stores. One which is a Teespring store and the other one which is a Shopify store. So, yeah, get yourselves over there. Support artists.
Alleviating poverty worldwide. Everything that a narcissist does, especially her, it comes with an agenda. Everything.
Now, this is when what she says becomes unethical. You cannot give a diagnosis without meeting somebody. So stop it.
November the 23rd, Thanksgiving, and I'm thinking about the meal I once cooked for all my family. A huge turkey like most of my movies. Haha, today I'm really thankful for my career, my family, my swishy hair, my cute bottom, not forgetting my ginger honey bunny who I've been dating for 6 whole months.
I bet she's never called anyone a honey bunny.
And that's in November. Now if we do the math, I believe that takes us to May.
Duh, duh, duh. Oh, can you feel the drama? I can.
So they were dating in May.
Look, she's speechless.
You know, I think that the fact that she has got this moved on so quickly.
She's astounded.
Is just astounding to me that she orchestrated all of this. I don't believe that Harry was...
What? What are you going to say? You're going to say she orchestrated it? What are you going to say? I'm all ears.
Serious about her. I really don't. I think she did what a lot of narcissists do. She manipulates and orchestrates and does things behind the scenes and almost forces Harry into a situation where he then has to commit to the relationship.
So, there you have it. Harry wasn't in love with Meghan. She was behind it all. She manipulated not only him, but the royal family and the whole of Great Britain.
So February the 1st, 2017, a new year and still going strong with Harry. We had a date night at Soho House in London. The paparazzi caught us. Luckily, I looked super glam. I'm loving staying at Harry's apartment in Kensington Palace and pretending we're a married couple. So already pretending we're a married couple. So she's already got that in her sights, which everyone is saying we will be before too long. Hoping Kate might pop in for a cup of green tea, but no sign of her yet. So the way, I mean, to me, the way she talks about the royal family, Kate, you know, it is almost as if she's literally looking at them as like their family, like, you know, granny-in-law. It's like, that's the late queen. Oh.
See, that's what I don't understand. Why is this woman so invested in Harry and Meghan? Why is she so angry?
February the 5th, still playing the perfect housewife. Not, I am so bowled over by Harry that I am loving being a housewife. I never thought that I would enjoy something like this, but I am. But it's playing the perfect housewife. So again,
now, not only is she now going to completely dissect everything that Meghan wrote, she's actually going to tell her what she should have said. Yeah, that.
So again, that shows you this is not real. This is not who she is as a person. She's playing the role. That's the great thing about being an actress. I can turn my hand to anything. And being so good at learning lines is great practice for all of those royal speeches I might have to give one day. In the meantime, I've noticed Harry's pad has a bit of a bachelor vibe going on, so I'm filling it with flowers. Love my new Barber jacket. Makes me look very posh and English. So it's funny, isn't it, how even in February, she was enjoying being in England. She was loving it.
What's wrong with that?
I think what happened is what I've said before, is that suddenly her mask was slipping and people started to notice. The press were noticing. She was rude to people. The staff were noticing. The palace was noticing.
Okay, everybody put their hands up who believes a word of what this woman is saying. Just one word of it. Not everything, just one word.
And then it was getting, you know, it was getting brought out in the media. All of a sudden, she was not this amazing person that everyone was fawning over. Suddenly, people were now turning on her because they were starting to see through her, and she didn't like it. And like in all narcissists, they turn tail and run because they don't want to be exposed.
Careful, lady.
March the 3rd, Harry asked me to go with him to his best friend's wedding in Jamaica. Everyone goes wild because there's a picture of my hand on Harry's back. But it's a bit awkward because Jamaica was where I married my ex-husband, a guy called Trevor. Harry is totally cool about it, though. I mean, everyone in his family gets divorced.
So you're coming for us divorcees, are you?
I know the last American divorcee who married a royal wasn't so popular, but hey, Wallis Simpson wasn't on TV and didn't have 1.6 million followers on Instagram.
Well, I'm happy with my 22 followers.
Yeah, but it's funny, isn't it? How is it on there? Is it Sussex Royal? Or even on her Meghan one, which people are believing is Meghan's Instagram when she finally decides to come back on social media, which she keeps telling people that she is. And she hasn't even reached 1 million.
What's wrong with you?
So before people really knew who she was, and they just saw her on Suits, and they never really saw her publicly. I think people got caught up in the person who was the character, Rachel Zane of Suits. So they followed her on Instagram. They followed her TIG blog.
Did they?
Now they've got to know who she really is.
Uh-huh.
People are not interested.
Oh.
May 7th, Princess Training Part 32, in which I pretend to be interested in polo. All the men chase a ball with a giant hammer.
Oh, I say.
So from this version of events where she said no one taught her how to do anything, no one did anything, now she's Princess Training. Let's be frank, it's as boring as hell, but at least it wasn't cricket. Things seem to be going well though. I have this English style thing down. Just check out my dress. Looks like one of Kate's, don't you think? Bad news though, had to pull the plug on my blog. It was very upsetting. Some of the stuffed suits at the palace. No more selfies. What am I going to do?
What am I gonna do? Sorry guys, but this woman is so boring. I'm just getting a bit like fractious.
Which is why they now have Merchywell, because it can be controlled. Now she's not liked. They don't want to be on social media because they don't want the backlash. So if she does ever decide to go back on social media, you can bet your life it will be controlled.
Can you imagine having her as a therapist?
May the 20th, Pippa's wedding day, and I joined Harry for the reception in a big greenhouse in a field. Brick weddings are weird. When I get married, it will be totally glamorous with no muddy fields. Getting a bit bummed with other people's weddings. I mean, it's been practically a year. So after a couple of months of dating, she wanted it to go public and she was getting annoyed that it was not public. Now, dating a year and now she wants to be married.
This woman is so jealous.
July the 11th, awkward. So I'm at a script reading session at a TV festival in Texas when this random guy in the audience asks me when I'm going to marry Harry. Geez, I hope people don't think I put him up to it. I just smile and say nothing.
Can you imagine being this bitter?
Yeah, okay. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys, but I think that really does, if nothing else, show how calculated and manipulative that she was from the get-go. And I've said before that I think this was happening way before. I personally think that she was setting her sights on being in the royal family. I think that she had her sights set on William. I do believe that she was the one that was instrumental in creating the rumour in regards to this bogus affair that William supposedly was meant to have had, which I don't believe at all happened. But I think that she was instrumental in that because I think she wanted to come between William and Catherine. And a lot of that was because William spurned her. And I think that she started with Andrew. I think that she probably connected, well, not probably, because I've done the video on Andrew and I have been sent some information on that. So I think she connected with Andrew. Andrew wasn't particularly interested and she saw that as her meal ticket. But when he rebuffed her and didn't want to know, she then set her sights on finding a way into those inner circles. And even if she didn't marry Harry, she certainly would have met somebody that was certainly in around the circle in a way that then she would have then waited for Harry to be single again, and then she would have pounced. Either way, whatever the timeline, I think she would have orchestrated that meeting with Harry, and I think that that's what she did. And like I've said before, you know, this woman is nothing but tenacious. If she wants something, she will do whatever it takes, and she doesn't care who she hurts along the way. It is there in black and white that she did cheat on Corey. She did meet Harry in Toronto, and they started texting back and forth, probably flirting with each other. And they obviously then had that trip to Botswana. I am of the opinion, and I know that some believe me, well, so some join me in this opinion, some don't. I have a feeling that they probably got very drunk and they had a makeshift wedding in Botswana. And I think that when it then come out, it was around the time when I would imagine that Harry probably went to his family and said, you know, look, I've been seeing this woman, you know, we got very drunk, and I would imagine that Harry probably the next day would have been like, you know what, oh, it's a joke, but she would have held him to it. She would have said, you can't do that to me. Now obviously there are excerpts missing from that diary, and I would imagine because probably they're quite damning, and they probably expose things that can't be released publicly. That's why we've just got this milder version. But to me, it shows how calculated she is. So I don't think for 1 second that she wouldn't have said, oh yeah, it's really fun, let's go and get married in Botswana. But then obviously it's not a legal wedding as such, but I would imagine then the royal family probably would have said, you know, you can't mess this girl around. You've either got to end things with her, or you know, you've got to do something. And Meghan, being Meghan, is not going to let that meal ticket go. She's not. So she would have probably at that point either pretended that she was pregnant, or she would have pulled the race card and said, you know, are you leaving me because, you know, of the colour of my skin, etc. So she would have done.
What? Did she actually just say that? How did I miss that earlier on in the edit? Did she actually just say that? Oh my God. She actually just said that Meghan asked Harry whether he was going to dump her because of the colour of her skin. Are you for real, lady? Seriously? Oh my God.
Done something to manipulate that situation. All I know is that when I watched that engagement interview, it was very false. When I watched the wedding, Harry looked like he was going to the gallows. He didn't look like he was marrying the love of his life. And I know some people have said, well, it's probably because he's nervous. Yes, initially you would be nervous, maybe. A lot of people are. But once you're there with your partner, you feel secure. You feel they've turned up. The nervous bit is waiting for them to turn up, not you're literally nervous throughout the whole wedding, which Harry looks nervous throughout the whole wedding.
So you're intimating that this white prince was terrified, was being bullied. It was a shotgun wedding to a black woman. Yeah? Is that what you're saying?
And he's used to public speaking. He's used to public events. So I don't think it's to do with that. I genuinely think that there was something wrong, very wrong with that wedding. And I think the royal family knew. And like I say, and all of a sudden, you know, not that long later, suddenly she's pregnant.
Do you know what? She's pissed me right off. So I'm going to finish the video. But I will be back with another one very soon.
Pregnant. Allegedly with Archie, and we all know that was a lie. So yeah, so I think that something happened. I think that this shows how conniving, manipulative she is, and how she is impatient and she wants things locked down, and so she would have done whatever it took to get that.
We're all sort of, well, most people are sort of, well, we don't have racism over here, you know, we take everybody as they are, so to speak, but can you put him over on the end of the table? Because I don't really want to be sitting next to him. And I think it's because we're British. In America, it seems to be right out there, in your face. That's why I ain't going there, guys. I'm going to stay here because I'm used to these sort of under the carpet racists. if I go into a place, which you can still do in Britain, and be the only chocolate coloured person in there, I'll make sure they remember me.